Oh, what? We're reaching like 20 million. Hey everybody, it's Rob here. Today I want to showcase the Bleed Barbarian. This is one of the builds that is not getting nerfed all too much. In fact, it's actually getting a buff here for the PTR, and we will test this a lot. The Violent Rend rune is gonna get from 12% to 25%. And you guys know there is a lot of overpower damage nerfs, and they are not affecting the Rend bleed at all, because Rend in general, the bleeds cannot overpower. So you're actually getting quite a cool benefit from that. And it actually seems to be one of the highest single target damages after all the nerfs. As you guys know, like Hoda is divided by 11, and all the overpower nerfs are roughly divided by 3. And yeah, Rend is pretty much one of the only builds, except from the Dust Devils that I already made a video about in the description, that is actually getting a buff here along with Leapquake, which we will also test the next days. So let me just show you here, like we're basically just rocking Rend, and we also have the Rupture. And Rupture is also getting a guaranteed overpower, so this could also help us a lot. Unfortunately, at the moment, the Gushing Wounds passive is still bugged and is not a separate multiplier. So for now we're sticking with Unconstrained. We'll see if this is changed on the PTR, but for now we are going Unconstrained, and we are not really focused on crit. In fact, you don't even need a Grandfather for this build. We're just playing Edgemaster here on our two-hander, and yeah, the only two Uber Uniques that are pretty good is Starless Sky and Harlequin's Crest, and you can also play Godslayer here, but Starless Skies is a really good ring. And let me just show you here real quick. So we have our pet disabled because we're not going to have a pet in the next patch. We'll probably have a different season theme, but for now, to compare, I'm just not doing any of the pet stuff, and we are just doing like a pure single target on a boss. And this is basically my benchmark to check, because on the pit there will be a boss to fight at the end, and this one is going to be pretty hard to kill, I think, because most classes will just struggle with the pure single target. So this is pure single target comparisons. We are playing Ramalaldis for the good scaling with our Fury. So let me just show you here real quick on a target dummy like what the damage will look like. And this is like completely without any, you know, overpowers or any of the stuff. And we don't even have to like use our Rupture all too much. You can see here kind of like a damage ramping as I'm getting my overpower. So we are kept, like, if we don't recast our shots, like about 13 million, but there is different overpower procs we can use, and the damage will be always ramping up higher as you go through. It depends a bit on how your skills line up, and the setup can vary a lot, but you can see here, like, we are very constantly hitting for over 10 million basically per tick. And that is gonna allow us to basically deal about 30 to 40 million DPS in total if you count like all the buffs here. And yeah, it's gonna rock a lot, because like you're also dealing like 2 million direct every hit. And if you like combine this with Rupture, which also gives you more attack speed, you will be able to basically rupture the target for like hundreds of millions. I will also showcase this to you here in a second. And what we're using right now is the Unrelenting Fury. There's also another ring, Skulking Ring, to get your Fury back. And you can see like my Fury is pretty much staying on at a consistent level here. Okay, let me just show you like this. So now we would, once we see like a good value, we will start to Rupture. So we want Unstoppable to be there, and then you can see here 15, 16, and then we Rupture, boom, 150 million Rupture damage. And again, this is not really changed all too much. I made the rough calculation here, so we're getting, I think Blood Rage right now is, you can actually see the exact values real quick. So the Blood Rage is gonna get a nerf. So right now our value on Blood Rage is 81. Okay, that's actually a lot. 1.81. Then we have the Axe Mastery that's getting a nerf, and we have the Target's Will that is getting a nerf as well. So right now we are losing a 70% damage, like 1.7 multiplier. We're getting the 25 from 12 to 25, so we're getting 12%. So we are losing roughly 50% damage is what we're losing. So right now we're doing, I think, about 30 million DPS once our stuff is optimized. I don't have like vulnerable rolls everywhere and stuff, because you have this like insane passive here, Hemorrhage. This one is still uncapped. And this one basically makes you scale with your vulnerable. You can probably reach 1.5 here. And especially with the new master working, I think we will be able to reach even higher numbers. Because right now the maximum vulnerable we can get is like 58%. And it looks to be like way more with the new master working and tempering. So I've seen that vulnerable still rolls, as I said. And this is Hemorrhage, still the only passive that is uncapped. Bleed builds in general have been underperforming for a long time, so I'm hoping that they're not going to cap this on the PTR and leave this one uncapped. And we can probably reach, like, I don't know, like a 1.6, 1.7 on the Hemorrhage passive. And this one allows us to scale our bleeds like pretty insane, I think. And then, yeah, with the Rupture, we can like Rupture 150 millions, like every like 5-6 seconds, I think, because the bleeds last for 5 seconds. So with sufficient attack speed, like the Rupture also gives us more attack speed, we will be able to just continuously Rupture away and just get a bunch of damage that way. You can see here we're rocking like 17 million like right now. And it depends a bit on like your current setup and stuff. And yeah, bleed in general seems to be pretty strong. So right now we're doing like, I don't know, like 40, maybe 35, but the new DPS in million will still be about 25 to 30 million after the nerfs. I think this was like one of the clips here. This is without any snapshots, without any pets. And you guys can kind of see here, like we're reaching like 20 million basically per tick. And this ticking twice a second, so it's like about 40, because there's also some direct, so it's always a bit more because like our Rend is also dealing like a direct amount of damage, right, to the target. So there's just that, like, see here, like these 2 million numbers that pop up, 4 million, 2 million, 2 million. So this is added to the damage as well. So I think we are rocking about 40 million right now, and then after the patch, it will be like about 26 million DPS. And this is still quite a lot, definitely going to be a top build. And you also have the cool Rage of Paragon that they're also buffing, and this essentially will probably allow us Rage of Paragon. This will probably allow us to also reset our Wrath the Berserk cooldown. So right now you can see here, whenever I'm attacking, my shout cooldowns get reset slowly. There was a cooldown reset and stuff like that. 10, 9, 8. Always depends a bit. Like, if you get lucky, it's like right now I don't even have perfect gear for like all the lucky hits. But you can kind of see that there was another reset. The shout cooldowns are getting reset. And the more attack speed you have, there's another one, the more resets you're gonna get. And that is gonna be very useful. And this will currently does not count for Wrath the Berserk, but it will also count for Wrath the Berserk after the patch. So there's actually like 3 buffs to the build. Buff to Rend, buff to Rupture, and buff to Rage of Haragoth. So and there's a second buff here to the Fields of Crimson. So I have a planner here that I'm also going to be linking in the description. And essentially we can also play the Fields of Crimson. This might have the potential to even work in party play now, because the new Fields of Crimson makes enemies take increased damage from all damage types. So I'm not exactly sure what this will mean, if this will mean for party members, but increased damage from all damage types. It doesn't say from you or anything, right? So this might work as a party member, because it's like a global ground AoE debuff. So I have high hopes that this is actually going to give a 20% damage increase to your party members as well. And then on top of the Warcry, that's already buffing your party members by significant amounts. I think we have, right now we do have 21 and then another 1.1. So there's like a 31 bonus. And another 20 bonus with the Fields of Crimson. So there is some cool group synergy potential. And yeah, I think Rend in general will also be very good with the new Rage of Haragoth for trash clearing. Like Rend has like 180 cone. It's not the biggest AoE, but it's fine. I mean, if you have like a bunch of enemies close, like you can kill them pretty fast with your Rend. And yeah, it looks to be a pretty promising build, I hope. The planner is right here. Let's quickly go over like my current gear, I guess. So we have the Harlequin's Crest, we have the Rage of Haragoth, and who knows, like we might need a Juggernaut or some defensive stuff here instead of Tybert's Will. We'll see. We have gloves here with Lucky Hit, Attack Speed, Crit Chance, Rend, and then we have the Inner Calm. They're also buffing this slightly, so you don't have to stand still all the time here and getting a 1.1 in a ways. Then we just have some boots here that basically allow us with our Rend to keep our Berserking permanently. Limitless Rage here, and we are generating the Fury with Unrelenting. I actually tried the Slaking Ring, but it seemed to be worse in terms of Fury generation in comparison to Unrelenting Fury. So Unrelenting actually gives you more Fury, and it gives you Fury on every hit. You can kind of see here. Hopefully, let me drop all this. And we get our we get like a couple Limitless Rage stacks every time we attack with like our Fury generation. So that's pretty cool because we get the Unrelenting on every hit, and this one we only get on every other hit, so that's not the best. Then we have Ramalalis. This will scale our Fury with Melted Heart and just a bunch of Fury nodes. We have 310 Fury right now, and this one brings our Melted Heart to a pretty decent multiplier. It's going to more than double our damage, because it gives you a 0.4% damage per point of Fury, which is pretty crazy. And yeah, in general, it also gives you a lucky hit chance to regain your resources. So you can see here, we can kind of just rent away, even with crazy attack speeds and accelerating, and we can keep our resources up pretty comfortable. You can see here, like it keeps getting stacks like 24, 60. It depends a bit on like what triggers, but like you have a decent uptime. And then we have Edge Masters here. Unrelenting for Fury, Ring of Stardust Sky. This one is very important to just keep your Fury. And then right now we are playing the Melted Heart. It has resource generation and also damage while healthy, which is pretty good. And also like has the 60 Fury, which is a very nice synergy with all Ramalaldis. And then for the potion, you also use a 50 max resource potion. And yeah, then we have nothing on the pet because we won't have it next season. Skill tree is looking like this. So we have Rend maxed, we have some of the shouts. I still have like Kick here right now. That is not needed. We can put this elsewhere, like get more damage reduction, maybe get some more damage. But this is basically how it looks. Then we are having Fortified, and we're getting Fortified from Warbringer. We have the Cut to the Bone multipliers here, and we have Rough the Berserk with Unconstrained. Again, hopefully they are changing Gushing Wounds to work. It would be a pretty cool synergy with the Rupture guaranteed overpower. And then we have Paragon trees looking like this. So we have Territorial. And this is like optional. You can take anything else as well. Just like good damage buffs. Exploit here. This one is for the vulnerable damage, for our Hemorrhage multiplier. Warbringer, and then all the Fury nodes. This one gives us Fortify. This one gives Ramalaldis more damage. Then we have Ire. This one will now be kept, but I included it in my calculation. So right now we have 1.81. But with the change, we're only going to have 1.3 from that. Then we have Decimator here still, and we are rocking all the vulnerable multipliers, which is going to give our Hemorrhage even more damage. And yeah, that's pretty much the Paragon tree, and that's pretty much the build. And yeah, in general, I think this one can be a very promising build. If played correctly, we are going to get a lot of damage. And some pretty cool single target, and also AoE damage, I believe. This is a pretty strong build, and the more attack speed we have, like, cause now I would like spam my Rupture and get even more procs, but I want to show you like the dot here. I see we're going like to 20, 20, 20.3, things like that. So it's a pretty cool build, and I'm definitely looking forward to test this on the PTR. If you want to give this a try on the PTR, this is the Rend Bleed build. Again, it's basically getting buffs, because like the general Barbarian class is getting nerfs, and there is some buffs to this build, so that's pretty cool. And aside from the Dust Devil Double Swing or Dust Devil Whirlwind build, I'm also going to make a Leap Quilt build here. I want to test a Leap Quake build next days on the PTR, and we are probably also going to test some Sorc, so stay tuned. PTR is here just in a few days, and I will see you soon. GG. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.